Welcome back on Dynamod. Today I want to propose you a video about the review about the FAQ released by the Games Workshop in July 2022 about Age of Sigmar Dominion 3rd edition about FleshEater Courts. Remember anyway that these are simply an update of previous FAQs. So if you're interested about the previous FAQs, you can find the link in the description, because each time I want only to update without having to repeat everything every time, only the new ones. So each time you find the update of the FAQs. So pay attention about such one, and now we can go to see about the new FAQs. The first one it's about the a change in the deathless courtier, and it's important because these are the same that you can find in the Battlescroll Gallet. You can find the link in the description about the video related about it, and they are quite important that they are here because it means that they are official, so that they are brought not only for the season for the Battlescroll Gallet, but also that they stay in the FAQs, so they are important in that way. So, friendly FleshEater Courts unit has a word of 6+. So it means that you don't have anymore to be within a certain range from the heroes or so on to gain. You have automatically the word of 6+. So it's a really great and amazing change. And then we have the fact related about the Chinatown that say that you had to see about the one in the White Dwarf issue 477. About this, I want to remind you that in the description you can find the link about my review about the White Dwarf itself and the review about the facts brought thanks to such White Dwarf, so that you can find all the rules about the match play that are available there. So the channel turn, but also the battle tactics and so on that are available. And sincerely, I suggest you to go to see that video because it's important, and those facts are not in this. So it's better to have a referral. So you have a referral to go to see about such that it's important. So go to see also that video so that you have all about the fact available. And then we had the fact related about the renewed and the spells of the FleshEater Courts and the channel throne that we've seen before. But I want to remind you that in the description you can find the link to the fact about the White Dwarf 477, where I talk specifically about the channel throne, so that you can find everything explained. And the first and the spell that we see it's Cadavers Barricade that has a casting value of 5 and a range of 24 inch. It's a good range, but remember that you had to put such model on the battlefield wholly within such range. So you have to pay attention because you'll not almost never be able to use all these 24 inch. And remember that you have to put these more than 1 inch from all models, and feature or unders and the spells and evocation. And only FleshEater Courts wizards can attempt to summon these end spells. It's a terrain feature when it's on the battlefield till it's dispelled, and it has grasping hands that make that if a mod starts a move within 3 inch of this terrain feature, halve the distance that mod can move when it makes that move. And death models are not affected by dictionary rules. So against death, it's completely useless, okay? But you have to remember that it's not so good when you think about the movement phase, because you have to put this model within 3 inch. Pay attention that the enemy models has to start to move within 3 inch. If they are farther, you can't work with this when they arrive close. But it's quite interesting when you think about the charging, because it's a move. And so it means that if you position in the right way, or you can make detour the enemy models so that they have not to be half the movement put farther, or to make a sort of rounding about such model. Or anyway, you are able to make that you put such one and halving the charge, you have the saving. So it's not bad at all. It's really a control crowd about the enemy units. And I think that it's more related about charging that movement as phases. Sincerely, it's good. You have a bit to understand how to play with it, but it's something that I'd say that I play with. Then we have Chalice of Sharon that has a casting value of 6, a range of 24 inch. Remember that you had to, when cast, put wholly within 24 inch, so pay attention about this. It has to be visible to the caster and more than 1 inch from all models, other than the spells and evocation, and only FleshEater Courts wizards can attempt to summon this and the spell. It has Soul Stealer, so that keep track of the number of models that are slain within 12 inch of this and the spell each turn. Remember that he talks about slain models, but he doesn't say about enemy or your ones, so all counts. And at the end of each turn, roll a dice for each model that was slain within 12 inch of this and the spells during that turn. For each 4+, the commanding player can heal 1 wound allocated to 1 FleshEater Courts models within 12 inch of this and the spells, or return 1 slain models to 1 FleshEater Courts unit with a wound characteristic of 1, so the kept goals, that is wholly within 12 inch of this and the spells. So it's an amazing healing and the spells. So really, you had really to think about using such one or to heal your unit, because it's a good way to heal, for example, your terror guests, your dragon zombies, or so on. Not bad. Or any way to heal and re-empower your crypt ghost unit. So it's really quite an amazing one, and it's almost a must-have in an army of FleshEater Courts as an end spell. And then we have Cosmer Stampede that has a casting value of 7 and a range of 3d6 inch. And you have to pay attention about such detail, because you have to put such model wholly within that range. And you have also to be more than 1 inch from all models, so also from the caster. So you risk that if you throw a lower end of the dice, you are not able to use such and the spell, because you don't have the space to put it on the battlefield. So to pay attention about that. You have also to be more than 1 inch from all models and the spells and evocations, and only FleshEater Courts wizards can attempt to summon these and the spells. It's a predatory, so it can be moved up to 12 inch and can fly, and it has as rule trampled underfoot. So after this and the spells have moved, roll 5 dice for each unit that has any model it's passed across, and for each roll that is more than that unit wound characteristic, that unit suffer 1 mortal wound. For each 6, that unit instead suffer 1 mortal wound regardless of its wound characteristic. So against unit that has 1 wound, it's really quite useful, because it makes a lot of wounds on a lot of unit eventually. And instead against unit that has a big amount of wounds, so even after 4 wounds I think that it can be so problematic. In a way, it has the option about making the mortal wounds, because it has that on 6 it's make regardless of the characteristic of the wounds of the enemies, so it can be useful also in that way. The only real limitation it's about the setting up of such one, because it's a bit problematic, because you risk that if you throw a low end of dice, you are not able to put it on the battlefield itself. So, from Dino Mode, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.